Hello all, welcome back to another video and welcome to Sammy G's World of Cinema. Today on the channel, guys, it is the start of the weekend and the weather over here in UK has been absolutely tidy lately, been absolutely effing legit. It's been really good. Like the weather this year in regards to like summer, this has probably been our best summer in a while, I would say. But yeah, and it's just been a good solid year on the whole as well. And yeah, so guys, I wanted to do a follow-up video to part one of the list of childhood films from my childhood. So this is going to be part two of that, and this is going to be the last part as well, guys, because yeah, I think there's just a lot more I could choose from, but I thought I would just keep this as a two-part video. And yeah, really looking forward to talking about more of these films from my childhood. But yeah, guys, grab yourself a cuppa. The weekend is here. The weather is absolutely dapper out there. And yeah, summer is still alive and kicking. And the footy, the Premier League, is back on the telly next weekend as well. So yeah, all good in the hood. Let's get on with the show here, guys. Let's crack on with this. Come on, bring it on. It is the weekend. Let's go here. Again, guys, all jotted down here. So yeah, this is it's gonna be it's kind of good to kind of look back at some of the films I grew up with, and there's still a fair few of these films I do really still enjoy still to this day. They're not perfect movies in my opinion, but they are just, yeah, really good, harmless, fun movies, majority of these. So the first one on this list I wanted to include, of course, was Wallace and Gromit, and I could have gone for pretty much, you know, like any Wallace and Gromit film, but the one I'm going to go with is The Wrong Trousers, because this is my favourite Wallace and Gromit film. I absolutely love this, you know, like Wallace and Gromit film, but all the Wallace and Gromit films, guys, are pretty much home runs. I did say there was nothing perfect on this list, like quality-wise, in my opinion, but actually, I'm gonna go back on my words here. This is perfection. I absolutely love this. Yeah, just Feathers McGow, who came back as the main villain in Vengeance Must Fall, and that was just, again, a real great throwback to this. And yeah, I just think the time and effort they put into this clay animation and the storytelling is just sheer genius from Nick Park right here. But yeah, I love kind of the creativity and the whole invention side to Wallace and Gromit. There's like no other animated series or like animated characters like this duo, to be honest. They work on their own accord here, and it is absolutely great. So yeah, that is Wallace and Gromit: The Wrong Trousers, and just a great fun time of a film. The whole train sequence is just glorious, and just the whole like going into that museum as well where Wallace it gets framed, and it is just an absolute classic of a film, and just so British as well. You know, it's definitely you know, got that real northern witty humour, which is something I could very much relate to there as well. So that is Wallace and Gromit: The Wrong Trousers. But like I say, guys, I could have gone for A Grand Day Out or Close Shave and Curse of the Were-Rabbit, Matter and Loath of Death. I could have gone for all of those, but this being my favourite, I thought I'd pick this for this video. Then I've gone for a film that I discovered when I was like at primary school. I remember like someone in my year group was talking about this film and I was like, I've never heard of this film. Rick Mayall is the actor we're talking about here. And like I say, the young ones and bottom, I obviously didn't watch until I was a lot older. But yeah, this was kind of like my introduction to Rick Mayall as well. And I'm always going to have this film to thank for that. And that is Drop Dead Fred with, yeah, Rick Mayall. And it is Phoebe Cates and Carrie Fisher. I absolutely love this film, guys. Yeah, I remember watching this countless times growing up. You know, it's kind of you know, it's got like it's just a really great like sort of film about nostalgia and, you know, like looking back on your cherished like memories as well. And I think this film just does such a good job at handling that. But yeah, like I just like the whole idea of an imaginary friend in this film as well. And kind of like when Fred comes into this girl's life and, you know, like, you know, Fred is just like sending out these instructions, all like these like that they come up with like all these sort of like shenanigans. It is just really good fun to watch. But yeah, I just again like the main girl who obviously sees Fred after so many years, who's come back into her life, and it kind of has a little bit of a knock-on effect with kind of like her working life and her social life as well. And oh god, Rick Mayall as Fred in this is just brilliant. But yeah, I just think there's some great like fantasy elements to this as well. Oh, there's just one scene that absolutely cracks me up before the titles roll in here, and I think it's her mother that's telling her like a story, and then basically she gives like her honest opinion on it. Like, what a pile of shit. Oh my god, it used to absolutely crack me up, and it still does. But yeah, great fun daft movie, that one. Drop Dead Fred with Rick Mayall, Phoebe Cates and Carrie Fisher. And there's obviously one scene I absolutely love by this barge or this in this restaurant as well, where this guy just goes absolutely ape shit. It is just really daft good fun. So that, yeah, great film. That's Drop Dead Fred. Then I went for a film I watched for the first time around that similar time, and I think I watched this film at the perfect age as well, to be honest. Like, I think, obviously, like, as I say, like, this is just a great sort of example of, like, it's kind of like a bit of a coming-of-age film, and I just think, again, a film that really does it well with kind of, like, about growing up and what it's going to be like in adulthood. I think this film does a good job at that, and that is Big with Tom Hanks. Yeah, I remembered watching this with my family, and we all sat down, we watched it for the first time. It came on one of the Sky channels, and yeah, we recorded it and we watched it, and we just absolutely love it. This is a fantastic sort of like comedy drama, this one. I just love the side cast as well, with Elizabeth Banks and John Hurd as well. Yeah, I bet John Hurd of Elephants. See what I did there? Because John has heard of Elephants. Oh, see what I did there? There we go. Yeah, if he was to be the leader of Elephants, it'd be John Hurd of Elephants. There we go. But yeah, this is a great movie, guys. Tom Hanks, you know, I think this is kind of where you see him really evolve as an actor as well, where he does something still like a comedic role, but also like he does something like kind of a bit more of a serious role as well. But yeah, I just love like kind of the blend between, like, you know, looking at what life is like when he is younger, but then when he's a lot older as well. And it all happens when he makes a wish to be like, you know, like a grown, like to be a grown up. And yeah, one day out of the blue, he is an adult and he's trying to like, sort of like he's you know, he's kind of trying to find himself again, sort of thing, in a new light. And yeah, and then he goes to like New York City, gets a job, and Frank Langella does a good job as like the main boss in there. I just love the whole piano scene in that film, and that toy shop is great. But yeah, and I love kind of like the friendship between is it Josh, played by Tom Hanks, and like his like best friend as well. I think, yeah, this is a beautiful movie, guys, and one that, yeah, I need to actually, I need to revisit this one again, because it has been a long while, but I've seen this one countless times over the years, and yeah, I just think it's a fantastic film, so that's big. Then I went through another Aardman production here, and again, one I remember when my mum took me to see this at Cineworld in Bradford when I was like 8 or 9 years old. It was like over the Christmas holidays, and we watched this, and yeah, I've watched it again like loads of times over the years. I think this film, it's just great, and I kind of think I would have been up for a sequel to this one as well, and that is Flushed Away. Yeah, I think again, this is just a, you know, like a real daft fun adventure movie here, where obviously Rodney is like just he is just at the having the time of his life, having this, you know, like big mansion to himself, and then obviously he's just living the dream. And then when he meets like a relative one day, and then he gets like flushed underwater, it kind of, and then he's he's wanting to get back home, but then he meets other characters along the way. He finds that he's in trouble with this like villainous frog or toad as well, who's basically after him. And basically there's this ruby, this diamond, that is basically it is basically like causing like, you know, some drastic attention there, and it's him and Rita that are basically on the run. And yeah, I just the scene with the snails as well, guys, it is just so funny to watch. Like, you know how in Despicable Me you've got like the minions that come in and out of the movie. It kind of reminds me of this with the snails in like Flushed Away. But there's some great like obviously covers in there. The whole scene with Tom Jones, and you've got the World Cup in there as well. But yeah, and Spike is an awesome like villain in this film as well. So yeah, that is Flushed Away there. Then I went for a film, I think one of the first few Tim Burton movies that I watched as well, like if memory serves, and that is Edward Scissorhands, a film that doesn't need any introduction, but it is just a beautiful, fantastic fantasy drama here. I absolutely love this. Such a gentle story. Johnny Depp, you know, as Edward is brilliant in this. You know, he's a bit of a lost soul, and he's just been like, he's been away in it, like stuck in his attic for many years. Diane Lane, I think, who finds Edward like in this attic, in this big house all alone, and you know, he's been there obviously, you know, since he like was brought to life by this inventor played by Vincent Price. And then he starts like to kind of function with life in this town, and him having scissors for hands really brings like attention. And then you find that there's a lot more to him than people give him credit for. Like, I love the whole like hairdresser sequence in this film, and then when he meets like Winona Ryder as well, and they have like their own chemistry. But then there's a guy in there, like it's her boyfriend, who is an absolute dickhead, by the way. Like, he is just a character that you just love to hate because he is just that much of a knobhead. But yeah, and then basically he's kind of like the main rival in that film. But yeah, I think the family dynamic is really good in this film. Like I say, the Danny Elfman score, the wintry setting, like in the latter part of the movie, that just has that real magical feel about it, and it just oozes with that wintry like atmosphere. And again, like the setting and stuff with the again the mansion, it's just an absolutely fantastic film. So yeah, Edward Scissorhands. I remember watching this for the first time again. Like, I think it was like, I think we bought it on DVD. It was like during the summer holidays. Like, this was probably when I was about 8, 9 years old, and we watched it at school as well. And just, yeah, beautiful movie, that Edward Scissorhands. This is a film now, I must admit, this film has dated a little bit, guys, but it's not a bad movie. It's, as I say, it's a film that's got its problems, and obviously I would come back to the Jerry Anderson show like any day of the week, but this is still like, it's a watchable, it's an enjoyable movie, this one. Obviously, like, I don't think that I don't think that the main like cast is like the best to play these characters, but it's still it's a decent, enjoyable film, this one, and that is Thunderbirds. So yeah, Thunderbirds, the 2004 live action remake, which does have its problems, and it has shown its age a bit, but yeah, there's still a lot of enjoyment with this film. Obviously, yeah, like Vanessa Hudgens, and like the main guy who plays Alan, and that other guy who plays oh, I can't think of his name now. Is it Brains? Yeah, like they have like a bit of a fun adventure in this movie, and obviously they're rivaling off with Ben Kingsley as the Hood in there. But yeah, some of the acting and the scripts, as I say, guys, it's not on the level of Citizen Kane by any means, but it doesn't have to be either. It's just its own thing. It's just, I think this film, it's done what it can as far as like live action remakes go, and like I say, guys, this is absolutely not on the level of the Jerry Anderson show from the 60s of Thunderbirds, which is one of my absolute favourite animated shows, puppeteer shows. And yeah, like, I just remembered watching this, as I say, would it be either at school or on VHS as well. I would collect the sort of the merchandise as well at the time, like based on this movie, and it's been on ITV countless times as well. So that is Thunderbirds. This is a film, however, I'm a little bit more fond of. I remember my mum and dad taking me to the cinema to see this. I think it was like my 9th birthday. I think it was something like that. Yeah, it was me and a couple of friends at the time in like sort of like our same like year group. And yeah, I think we went to the City World in Bradford to see this. It was either that, or I think it was, what was the other film? Was it Eragon or something like that? That one with the dragon, which is meant to be absolutely pants, I've heard. But we did choose the right movie from the sounds of it, and that is Night at the Museum. Yeah, like I say, guys, I have got a soft spot for this film. Like, it's just, again, like, I love Ben Stiller, and like, this was kind of one of the first, I think few films I watch with Ben Stiller in, and just him as this night guard that just has to, like, he's on night watch and he has to keep an eye on, like, this museum, this exhibition, and just, you know, like all this display as well. And then you find that this display, this exhibition, the museum comes to life. Like, obviously you've got the scene with the monkey guys who steals his keys, oh my god, and the whole like gum scene as well with that head is, it's fantastic. And then obviously you've got the Roman tribe as well, with, like, led by Steve Coogan, Owen Wilson in there as well, Robin Williams as like Teddy Roosevelt. It is just a real daft fun movie, this one. And yeah, I went to the cinema to see this, like, upon its release, and it's a film like I haven't been back to like, I haven't watched this one for a fair few years, so I would like to revisit this one. As I say, I just love the scene. Is like, oh, you better run. Is it you better run? And like, here is Gum. Oh man, and yeah, and then there's the whole like T-Rex as well. It's just a real charmful, fun, inoffensive time of a movie, this one. So that is Night at the Museum. The two sequels are not as good as this first film, but I think this still like works enough as a trilogy. Also, I do like the side story with I think those two older guys that play like the villain in this film as well. So that's Night at the Museum there. This is a film I absolutely love, and man, I've got such fond memories of watching this on like BBC One or like on VHS or something. I think this is a beautiful movie, guys. It came out that time when a lot of these like animal related movies was coming out. You know, you had like Babe and Babe Pig in the City, and you know, like Mouse Hunt as well. You know what, guys, I'll give them a couple of like honourable mentions there, because those are also films I actually grew up with. But yeah, like, I just think this is such a beautiful story about the parrot, and you know, like, you see him just meet people along the way. You know, it's kind of like, you know, kept in you know, like under guard, and then he tells that guy about his life story. So yeah, what film could that be about that parrot? It's Polly. I just think this is a fantastic film, guys. Like, this is just so underrated. Like, I would absolutely would love to see this get a Blu-ray release, by the way. Yeah, like, we just follow this parrot's life wherever from the start. It's with that young girl, and it's quite emotional when you see them are kind of like drifted apart, but then the parrot, then Polly goes to and meets that older lady in the city, and then would go and meet this other, like this guy who I think he was in Small Soldiers, I want to say, and Jerry Maguire, and then he kind of has a little bit of a, he kind of teams up and does some business there, and then and it leads back to present day. I absolutely love this one, guys. I think it is, honest to God, like one of the most underrated movies ever. I don't hear many people talk about this one nowadays, and I just think, again, like, there's a lot of emotional beats. We see these characters just evolve, and you know, there's a couple of characters we see that make a departure, and we learn about it through the experience, through this parrot. What a great film, guys. And that ending, I must admit, it gets me there every time, that ending, man. It's just yeah, lovely, beautiful little film, this one. So that's Polly. And on a similar vein to that, guys, again, these films do get frowned upon a little bit nowadays, but I think just because I grew up with them as well, I've got a lot of nostalgia for these films. Like with Polly, I had these films on VHS. I think the second film, I believe I got that as a Christmas present, like one Christmas on VHS, and I remember watching this one on like Christmas Day when I got it on VHS, but I've watched it again countless times, whether that was on VHS, and then I would eventually get it on DVD, and the first film, again, I just remember watching like a lot when I was younger, and there's still fun, enjoyable movies, guys. Like I say, they're not anything amazing, they're not anything to write home about by any stretch of the imagination, but I think again, like like in terms of an adaptation of this character, I think they did a good enough job here. So that is Stuart Little 1 and 2. Yeah, Michael J. Fox is the voiceover of Stuart, and then like his friendship with George, and George learns that his new brother is Stuart Little, and they don't quite see eye to eye at first, but then when that boats competition comes into the picture, it kind of, you know, that they kind of start to see eye to eye, they start to get on a lot better with each other. But I love the parents in this movie, I've got to say, played by Gina Davis and Hugh Laurie. I think they, to be honest, guys, in my opinion, I think they are the best part of this movie as well. And they're just this lovable family as well. Like, they've just got not a bad bone in their body. They're just, yeah. But yeah, the main villain in this film as well, well, you think it's going to be Snowball at first, who is the main villain, voiced by Nathan Lane, but then that kind of, you see then another character is kind of done something a little bit more drastic and darker there. But yeah, again, the whole boat scene in that first film as well is great, and when you learn that Stuart has gone away for a little while, and you learn about like these two mice that appear on the doorstep one day out of thin air. Yeah, but I do really like the first film, and the second film, guys, to be honest, I probably personally prefer this to the original. I think, to be honest, I think this is a better story in my opinion. Like Stuart having like having that friendship with is it Margot, I think it is, that bird, and yeah, they have their own like friendship, and also you see there is a little bit of a shift in tone there in terms of like George is kind of growing up, and he's hanging around with like his close friend as well. But then but I tell you what as well, guys, I love the scene with like that aircraft, that plane in there, that remote controlled plane, and just the, oh man, the whole plane in that house as well, it just moves about. That is probably one of the highlights of the movie. But the Falcon, voiced by James Woods, is yeah, just a kind of a cold-hearted villain that you just again love to hate sort of thing. But also the backstory, learning about that Falcon as well. Yeah, it's just a fun, entertaining sequel, guys, that is just short and sweet with its runtime clocking in at 70 minutes there. So yeah, it's yeah, I do have a big soft spot for both of these films, guys. They're not the greatest sort of like family related movies out there, but they are just self-aware, they know what they are, and they just easy entertaining watch as well. So that is Stuart Little 1 and 2. I did talk about like a Roald Dahl like there's been there's like a couple of these, like I you know, I could have included on like this list. But yeah, another like Roald Dahl adaptation, I went for Matilda. Great song by Alt J, by the way, guys. Alt J, incredible live, by the way. Love to see them again. But sticking on topic here, yeah, Matilda, great movie, guys. Like I say, it doesn't need much introduction for me, you know, the whole sort of psychic powers that Matilda has, and just, you know, like obviously kind of like she can kind of, you know, like come up with a plan off the bat, really, and she doesn't need to spend too long to figure it out. She is a heavy reader as well, and just she has such a passion for reading. I really like the side story with like Miss Honey as well, and there's a real dark story with that, with Miss Trunchbull, who's, you know, like you kind of find she's a bit of a mean-spirited like character in this film, and you learn more about what she is about and what she's capable of. It's just, yeah, like, and also the whole like side story with Matilda's like family when she got like adopted, and yeah, like her family, man. Like, you really feel for Matilda in this film, because oh man, like yeah, her parents are just like they're just a real. They're just not very nice people. The dad in this, as much as I love Danny DeVito, guys, like her dad is just an absolute sleazeball in this film. You know, like obviously really addicted to like selling cars, and you know, he comes across as a little bit of a narcissist in this film, does is it Matilda's dad in this film. But yeah, it's got a lot of heart in this film. There's a lot of great like sort of fantasy elements to this one as well. And yeah, I just love the scene at the start with that music playing and that library set in. Yeah, it's fantastic film, guys. I've seen this countless times over the years. I think I've read the book. Again, I watched this like for the first time when I was like 8-9 years old. I had it on VHS and then DVD, and yeah, it's a beautiful story, this one, and I think this one does work as a standalone film, I've got to say as well. So that's Matilda. Then a film that, again, guys, you could say has somewhat dated now and really shown its age here, but to be honest, guys, I still really enjoy this film. I've got a soft spot for it. I think I first watched this film when I was at school, and yeah, it was one of those films we'd watch at school. I've watched it with my family as well, and yeah, I just really have a good time with this film. And that is the remake of The Parent Trap. Controversially, I think I do prefer this remake to the original film, by the way. The original film, I don't remember being all that thrilled by, but this remake, I think because I watched this first and I grew up with it, I just have a real soft spot for this film. You know, like the obviously the two girls who go to this summer camp, and they find that they're actually related to one another because Natasha Richardson and Dennis Quaid were like married to one another. Like they went out, and then they went their separate ways, and then like these two like girls find out they're long lost sisters, and then they decide that they're gonna like basically, one is gonna go and get to know her mother, the other one is gonna get to know her dad, and kind of just to swap lives there. And I just again love the whole like dynamic between like the parents in this film as well, like, and also who is it, the main guy in there, is it is it like the butler guy? He's actually one of my favourite characters in this film as well. But yeah, it's Alicia Silverstone. I like Alicia Silverstone, but her character is a little bit of a drip in this film, I must admit. She is, pretty unlikable in this film, and I don't really have much time for her. But other than that, there's a lot of fun to be had with this movie, and it's great to kind of look at each one's perspective, and like kind of learning about like one parent to another, and when it brings the family together, it's just it's a fun, light-hearted movie, guys, and one I've got a lot of time for. That is The Parent Trap. Then a film that, again, guys, I remember watching at a very young age for the first time. I've seen it countless times, like on VHS and then eventually DVD, or it was on the telly. And I think this was the film that was, other than Shrek, my introduction to Eddie Murphy as an actor. And I love Eddie Murphy, guys. Like, don't get us wrong, he's been in some stinkers movies-wise, but he's been in some awesome movies as well. And this isn't a great movie, guys, but you know what? I do have a soft spot for this film because I grew up with it. I've had such fond memories watching this one with my dad, or like my mum, dad, my brother as well. And that is Daddy Daycare. Like I say, guys, it's not a good movie, but I just have a real soft spot for this film. I think it just holds a lot of nostalgia. Like I say, it's shown its age now. It is from that, like you can tell it's very much from that era. But I love Eddie Murphy's character. Oh my God, when he leaves his cell phone in the fridge. And the scene as well with where the broccoli is fighting that carrot. And all of this, and basically, when they find they're not doing too well, like Eddie Murphy and he's like his close friend, like they kind of, I think they're kind of not in a good sort of situation job-wise, and they decide to like run this own community, like obviously, and for like, well, Eddie Murphy, for his son to like maintain friendships with like and this daycare center. And I just, again, I do really like the father and son relationship in this film, but also you just get some really funny characters in there, man, like Steve Zahn, and like I say, the main guy, I can't remember, was he in Jurassic Park, where he basically just does like this like song covers and on his guitar. There's a lot of fun to be had with this movie, like the whole thing with Flash and that parody scene of that scene from Psycho as well. Oh man, I do like this film, guys. It's got a decent soundtrack as well, I must admit. So that is Daddy Daycare. I didn't care for the follow-up. Was it Daddy Day Camp? That wasn't brilliant. Oh, no, that wasn't great. So that's Daddy Daycare there. Then, a couple more films to talk about here, and I went for a film that I think I will be talking about again in my August Watches video when I come to doing that video, and that is the original version of The Railway Children. I will actually, by the way, just whilst I'm talking about this, I'll give a couple more honourable mentions. There is the 2005 remake of Heidi and Goodnight Mr. Tom, and they're all kind of like similar sort of films there, and and also actually The Secret Garden as well. I'm just going to give them all a quick honourable mentions there, because they kind of are similar in tone to their movies, but the original Railway Children, I think this is a really good sort of like wholesome film, like you've learned. It's got a little bit of a serious story attached to it, with the father going away and he's been accused of something after another, and it's kind of like the main mother is trying to explain all of this to to her young children, and they're really not happy with the the fact that their father could potentially go to prison, but they're trying to look into as much evidence and investigation as possible of the police and that. And then they decide to relocate to, I think it's Oakley or Haworth in West Yorkshire. And like, I used to go to the Haworth station a lot growing up as well, and I think, yeah, that is why I think this film holds a special place in my heart. But it is a good movie, guys. Yeah, like, you find that these three main children are like being, you know, a source of inspiration. They want to actually help people and, you know, like make a better, like the mother as well wants to make a better living for like these people wherever that someone might be sick or like lost him, and like far apart from like a relative. And yeah, I think that, again, also, I just love that sort of railway setting about it. I love the side story as well with Bernard Cribbins as well, who's probably my favourite character in this. So, yeah, that I think it's a good movie, guys. Haven't watched the sequel, though, but I've heard the sequel is not too bad, so I might have to check that out at some point. But, yeah, as I say, guys, I remember, like, when I was younger, I used to watch this, like, on the TV quite a bit when I was younger. I think I'd watch it with my grandparents. I had it on VHS as well and watch it around Christmas time. So, yeah, that's the original, like, The Railway Children there. And the last one, guys, I thought I would talk about is... Now, I must admit, this film series I'm not the biggest fan of, I've got to say. You know, I think this film series is rather overrated, to be honest. And to be honest with you guys, had I known that the other couple of sequels were going to be absolute dog shit, I think this film should have signed off as a trilogy, because the fourth film is, honest to God, one of the worst things I have ever watched. And I've heard the fifth film is absolutely diabolical. So, yeah, I think this film should have signed off as a trilogy. But, yeah, I do love the first two movies. And my favourite film of this film series is Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. So this was kind of like one of the first sort of like action adventure movies I watched like growing up. Like, as I say, I never got round to seeing this one at the cinema growing up, but I remember this film when I was at school and that, and people in my school year were just giving this film such good feedback. It got a lot of good word of mouth. They said, oh my God, this is like one of the best summer blockbusters all year. And I just remember like seeing like snippets, Captain Jack Sparrow, where he's just like running like away like across that beach, and I was like, man, I have got to see this film. And I remember like I was dying to watch this film for so long. And I remember like Christmas 2006, I got like this for Christmas on DVD. I could not wait to watch this at long last. I think I did watch this after Curse of the Black Pearl, because I believe I watched that for the first time like that year as well. But Dead Man's Shoes, that's a totally different film. Dead Man's Chest, sorry guys, gonna say that's definitely not a childhood film, that. But yeah, I definitely I definitely didn't watch that at like 8-9 years old. I think that would have traumatized me, but I love Dead Man's Shoes, it's fantastic. But Dead Man's Chest, yeah, definitely, in my opinion, guys, one of the best sequels out there. I think everything Curse of the Black Pearl has to offer, this film elevates that with its entertainment factor. Captain Jack Sparrow is just as badass as ever. You know, you can tell Johnny Depp was born to play this leading role here. But I love the side story with Will Turner and his father, and played excellently by Bill Skarsgård in this. And Bill Nighy as Davy Jones, who is such a real menacing and brooding villain to the story there. To make someone that's kind of like at a similar ilk to like Squidward as like a villain, like as an octopus villain with the with Davy Jones. Do you know what as well, guys? This film has some really dark moments in there. The whole scene with the crows and like the nighttime setting of this film, it just really oozes that look like real you know, like eerie and you know, like atmosphere, and you know, it's got that real ghostly feel about it as well, and that scene with the ship as well. But there is just some really fun action set pieces there. Hey guys, I'll tell you what, the boat must have been that frightened it shipped itself. There we go. But this and also I do like the side story with what is it? Is it Mr. Giggs? Is it? And his friends there, and when they get it, they're in that curveball as well. That is just one of the highlights of the film. That for me, and the ending would sort of like give a great hint of what's to come in At World's End, which was the first Pirates film I saw at the cinema. But yeah, I think this is just such a cracking film, guys. Kraken film, as in Kraken film, because it's got the Kraken in there. But yeah, and also, again, the side story with Elizabeth Swann in there, and the whole... Again, the mystery feel of the chest is brilliant in this film. Yeah, absolute fun time of a sequel there. That's the last one to talk about in this video. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. So guys, that is it. That's part 2 of some of my childhood films list there. So, like I said, there's a lot more of these childhood films I could have easily talked about on the channel, but I'll keep this as a 2-part thing. And do let me know, guys, have you seen any of these movies and what's your thoughts on them? And I would again love to hear like more of like your like sort of films that you grew up, and what's your thoughts on them. And yeah, guys, this has been a really fun thread started by Ollie there, and just been a great like looking back on some of the films that I grew up with as well, and just reminded me of like fond memories of these movies, and movies I actually really want to go back and revisit at some point. So yeah, so guys, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend ahead, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. And yeah, do let me know in the comments if you've seen any of these films and what's your thoughts on them. I would love to know all of that good stuff in the comments down below there. And I hope everyone is having a great summer. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend ahead, and I'll be back for more content soon. So thanks for watching, cheers for stopping by, and until next time, I'll see you for the next video. Bye bye.